So I was looking at a show and I heard a lady tell another um, brown woman that black women have to get used to the fact that they are thought of than less than. And that came, let me tell you where that came from so it sounded like it just came out of nowhere. I was looking at Married to Medicine. Now, I don't look at it, I don't see it on TV when it airs. So I catch it online, okay, afterwards. Because I don't look at TV. And so what happened was she was doing a checkup with the brat and the baby and telling her to slow down because of the mortality rate among black women and pregnancy, the high risk, like they're more high risk. And that is when she told the brat that black women have to get used to the fact that they are thought of than less than. They are thought of that they are thought of as less than. I'm not saying that she's wrong about that. Black women are thought of as less than. I'm not saying that she's wrong about that, but it doesn't have to be that way. See, because this is something that takes work. You have to deal with the fact that you're thought of as less than because we limit ourselves to believing that we have to live in a society that mistreats us. I do not want to contribute to a society that abuses me. First of all, you should not be thought of as less than and you pay your taxes. You contribute to this society financially and all with your energy in every kind of way there is. You contribute to this society. But then turn around and have to be thought of as less than is unacceptable. If then you shouldn't have to pay taxes. You just should not have to do what everybody else is doing, and then you are thought of as less than when you're doing what everybody else is doing. You have to follow the rules like everybody else, but then you will just get the short end of the stick because you're a so-called black woman. That's not going to work out. That's a system that needs to move. And I said this before, that system can be moved when black women, which I'm not going to say it won't happen because and this is what I'm working on. I can choose to perceive whatever reality that I want. So if I want to perceive a reality where the majority of so-called black women have learned to completely love themselves, because if you completely love yourself, I'm talking about unconditional self-love. You have a majority of black women to do that. You cannot then be thought of as less than because if you are your own God and you have unconditional self-love and you are your own God, which takes work, but when you are your own God and you have unconditional self-love, there's no way that anything else is going to treat you less than, because that's like you thinking less of yourself, and you know you can't think less of yourself because you've done the work, the internal work where those limiting thoughts no longer exist. And so when you get into a space of unconditional self-love, there's not going to be any room for being thought of as less than, because it's not possible. It can't exist with unconditional self-love. It just can't exist. Unconditional self-love, unconditional self-confidence. Okay, and I said this before, self-love is not just loving yourself as a physical person. That's just one little small aspect of who you are. Okay? So it just can't exist. It can't exist at you because you're not thinking of yourself less. See, a lot of people, a lot of times, a lot of things happen to us, and this including me, is because that part of ourselves that we hold on to from childhood that might have us dealing with depression, that might have us dealing with a little bit of self-hate, believing what was put in us by our family members, and holding on to their thought forms, like their thought forms have been embedded in us. And so we deal with the self-hate because of their thought forms that's been embedded in us, and then we believe it to be true. She release all of that, and you get a complete self-love, and do the shadow work. It can't exist that black women are thought of as less than because they don't think of themselves that way, so it can't exist. It can't exist. Okay? So anyway, I just felt like talking about that. I don't want to make this too long. I just felt like talking about that a little bit. I don't have anything really super. Just yeah, I don't have anything really big to talk about. But actually, that is a big deal. But anyway, yeah, that's it, and I will talk later.